All right, perfect. Welcome to the 7 Ways to Wealth weekly Zoom call. Thank you so much for joining us this evening on the Wealth Wednesday 7 p.m. call. I'm super excited to have you guys here. So what I want to do is I want everyone to share their wins for the week. So whatever you are celebrating, if you started your LLC, if you, were able to acquire a new asset, if you're reading a new book, whatever it is. So I will go first. So my win for the week is, something dear to me. So today I'm just celebrating family, and it's my aunt's birthday today. And usually it falls on Mother's Day. So today is my aunt's birthday and my cousin's birthday. So surprisingly enough, they have the same birthday. And they actually don't live here in Miami. So they flew into town 2 days ago to celebrate their birthday with me here in Miami. So we had a wonderful day. I took them out for breakfast, and then we went to this nice cake place and sung them happy birthday. And then we had a nice little dinner just now right before this call. So I just want to celebrate family, and that is my win, just seeing a smile on their face. So who wants to go next?
I can go next because I'm gonna be doing the Zoom call while I'm working. I'm so happy to be here and so happy to hear what Ms. Akila has to say. I know that she's gonna be dropping a lot of gems. So I'm super excited for this Zoom. I'm celebrating my starting of my business and also my first digital product that I've been working on. So I'm super excited that I was able to overcome my fears and just push myself a bit and invest in myself. So that was pretty nice.
Yes, that is amazing. Congratulations on your digital product, and congratulations on recognizing and being aware that you have that fear that you need to overcome. So that is absolutely amazing, Taniqua. Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, who's next?
I'll go next.
I can go next. Oh,
Go ahead.
hey y'all. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes. Hey, Kayla, how are you?
I'm well. How are you guys doing?
Doing
My
good.
win for the week is that I've been actively sitting on a house, a duplex. So this is my first time trying to buy anything, and it's way out of my comfort zone. But I might have a duplex by the end of the week. I don't know.
Ooh.
That is amazing. Oh my gosh, congratulations. And you better claim it, girl. That's your duplex,
you.
okay? That is your duplex. So whatever belongs to you, whatever is yours, whatever God
That's a lot of money.
Yeah. But that's a good investment though. So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna house
It
hack?
really is. I'm going to live in it while I rehab the bottom floor, because the top floor is two units. Perfect. Top floor is 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. Perfect. Just needs small adjustments, and the bottom floor needs like some finishing touches, new floors, and the sunroom needs to be finished. And then I'll stay in it for about a year, maybe, and then move out and lease out the whole thing. So the ultimate goal is to be able to lease out the entire unit.
That is really, really, really good. Oh my gosh, congratulations. Like real estate is one of those, foundational financial markets where you can really build wealth. So that's good. All right, who's next?
Thank you.
Okay, I'll go next.
Diane, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Someone else.
Number 2, I'm working on a DIY credit repair course, and I had deadlines that I had to meet. One was Friday, and I'm finished with the portion that I needed to complete by Friday. So that's definitely a win. So now I'm going to move on than I would normally within a week. So that's definitely a win for me. And the second one is I had some deadlines that I had to meet in regards to my credit repair course that I'm working on. And I have completed that portion before the deadline. So now I have more time to start working on the next step. So that's my second win.
Nice.
Can you hear me?
Now we can.
Okay, sorry, I was having connection issues. Congratulations, Melanie. That is awesome. That is really, really good. Congratulations on your course. I know that these are, benchmarks that you are aiming for. So I'm so excited for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, who's next, Diana?
Yes, okay. I started thinking about an ebook, so I'm in the process of now writing the introduction and stuff for it. So that's my start for this week. I started, so that's my win.
Yes, and that's a big win
Yeah.
because a lot of people, they never get that far as to start. So you have started, you built that momentum, and you're going to keep going. So I know that each and every day, whenever you're, done working and whenever you're done, with your business, you're going to have time to be able to devote to you finishing that ebook. So that is absolutely amazing. So congratulations on the ebook, because digital products
Yeah,
are
thanks to you, because I was thinking for weeks, what should I do? Yes.
That is a good idea, though. People need
Yeah.
need that
Yeah,
expertise
you're
that you have
breaking
to offer.
up a little. That's it.
Can you hear me? Is my connection
No,
better?
we're breaking up.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so sorry. My connection is a little bit choppy, guys. Okay, who's next? Kia?
Oh, hey.
Hey, Kia, how are you?
I'm sorry about last week. I'm good. How are
Okay,
you?
awesome. So we are sharing our wins for the week. So go ahead and, whatever you want to share, whatever you want to express for whatever accomplishments you have going on for this week.
Oh, for this week? Well, I'm still a babe in it. I'm still trying to, get acclimated. I mean, I'm still, reading on things and just taking in some of the, becoming inspired by listening to everybody else, really, basically. So my win is, look, this is Wednesday and I went to work for 3 days. I go to work all the time anyway. But my real win is when I can decrease how often I go in for somebody else and be building on mine. So that's what my goal is.
And that's amazing, honestly. And so at least you know what your goal is, because you're going to be working towards that daily.
Yes. Oh, I have one win that's about to happen. So my sister, she's a insurance agent, and so she's coming to my house tonight. Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the simplified just as a backup, and then once she said it takes about 24 hours for it to be approved, because that was just her recommendation, just in case it's something on my health history that I don't know that was documented from years ago. So she said, first do the simplified. It does gain cash value. However, it's not like the index universal life.
Right.
So she said, once I get approved for that, then I'll just go ahead and apply for the IUL. So she's coming to my house tonight to do the simplified, and then once that's approved, then I'll do the IUL, just in case it kicks back, because it'll kick back for anything.
Right. Yes. Oh my gosh. I am
So I'm doing that
excited
tonight.
for
So
you.
that's a win. That's a win. It's an almost win. She's coming at 8 o'clock.
Yes, that's
Yep.
a big win. That is
Yeah.
a big win. And that's about to be another stream of income, honey.
Yes. And the crazy thing is that my sister been telling me about this IUL since last year, right?
Wow.
But see, the thing is that so when she talks about insurance, she gets so excited. So she's talking in jargon. So I told my sister, next time you're talking in jargon with your insurance, I'm gonna talk in jargon with my dental, because that's what it sounds like to me. It sounds just like how when I speak dental to her and she doesn't understand, I have to break it down in baby, words for her or layman terms. So after watching a few of your videos and stuff like that, I'm like, okay, she broke it down. So I went on to ask my sister, what's this IUL you were talking about, Kia? I've been telling you about it. So now we're about to get started.
That is so amazing. I'm so happy for you. That is a really big accomplishment, especially like if you get approved for that policy and then you could start overfunding it and then the policy is just going to pay you back, honey.
Yes. And she said it's that S&P 500 like you were talking about.
Oh my gosh, your sister's about to have you on point.
Look, she even putting me on with this annuity. She been telling me about, you need to get the annuity. It's S&P 500. And I'm like, this is all the stuff Christine be talking about.
Oh my God. You see? Oh my God. So that is just confirmation for you, Kia, really.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's funny that you say that because I was just talking about annuities with my brother today because he's going to get into an annuity too.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't learn a lot. Yeah, but I'm still learning. I'm still a babe, but it's a process, but I'm not being stagnant. I'm moving.
Right, exactly. But that's a good thing though. Congratulations. I love it. I love it. Congrats.
Thank you.
All right. So I think everybody shared, which is amazing. So congrats to everybody with their wins. And I know that you guys are gonna have an amazing rest of the week. So we are actually launching the book club, which I'm super excited about. And we are going to be reading How Successful People Think by John C. Maxwell. So did you guys receive the email with the PDF version of the book?
Yes, I did.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So some of our emails go to either spam or social or promotions or any of those other tabs that you have in your inbox. But we did send it out a couple days ago. So double check your inbox. If you don't have the ebook, just let us know. So on Friday at 7 p.m., that's going to be our first Zoom call where we're going to be sharing. So what I want us to do is just read the first 5 pages of that book. And that book is a small, short read. So that's why I chose it as the first book, because we'll be able to digest it in small increments. Okay. So that is it for the book club, guys. So now I want to introduce our speaker, our guest speaker. She is doing a masterclass for us today, which I am just really ecstatic about because this woman, you can learn so much from her. Her name is Akila Shabazz, and she specializes in credit. So she specializes in helping people repair their personal credit, but she also specializes in business credit and business funding. So she helps you establish that business credit, that tier 1, 2, 3, and help you become fundable and credible. So she helps people establish up to $250,000 in lines of credit and business funding, and not even up to that, because from what she told me with her client testimonial, she's gotten people like secured for like $500,000 in credit. So she is an expert in her field. She knows what she's talking about. She's a dear friend of mine. Her name is Akila Shabazz, and I would love to introduce her to you guys. So she's coming right now to do a master class. So let's see what she has in store for us. So Akila, are you there?
Hello, Christina. Hello, beautiful people.
Hi, Akila. So this is the 7 Ways to Wealth membership. So everyone here they're either mentees or they are members in the 7 Ways to Wealth membership. So thank you so much for agreeing to come and doing this masterclass. We are like, I have my notebook right here, and I'm about to take notes because I know that you're going to be dropping a lot of gems for, you know, everyone here. They can either they can use whatever information you have, either on the personal side or on the business side. But I know that a lot of people here on this Zoom call, they are new entrepreneurs and they are just focusing on, you know, building, either establishing or building up their business credit. So thank you so much for coming on and teaching us what, you know, whatever you got in store for us today.
Of course. Thank you so very much for having me here, Christina. You know, you're one of my favorite people. I'm so excited for this community and everyone who decided to join, because guess what? Environment is everything. And I was taking notes on some of the people who had the wins. Shout out to Kia to getting the annuity. Also, Kayla with the duplex. That's how I actually got introduced into entrepreneurship. My first piece of property, my background is real estate. I actually house hacked right after the crash. And then years later, when I lost everything, I'll get into my story, that building saved me. That building I had for 12 years, I was able to sell it and restart. So you guys are definitely in the right place at the right time. I love that you're introducing the book club, because I'm actually going to get into a book I'm currently reading. Never forget this, guys. If you don't walk away with anything, do not skip out on that book club. Reading has been the most impactful thing that has ever happened to me in my life as an entrepreneur. It gives you verbiage, it gives you insight, it gives you a blueprint. You learn things that was not necessarily readily available to you through a regular conversation. Because a book is typically someone who, I'm going on a little rant, because you know I love books, and then I'm going to get into it. A book, like they said, success leaves clues. If you want to build wealth, you have to study wealth. Yes. So let's get into it. First and foremost, let me do a formal introduction. My name is Akila. I am known as Ms Cashflows on Instagram. I'm there daily. I like to drop any gems, everything that I learn, I pour into my audience. And it's such a joy, and I'm so excited to speak here with you today. So just to tell you a little bit about my background, I was in corporate America for many, many years, went to college, ranked up a lot of student loan debt. Was a network analyst for many, many years. I was on the mobility side, which was the cellular phone industry. Worked for AT&T for many, many years. Started to get laid off when the crash happened, like in 2007. Then once everything kind of balanced out, I got my first home. That's how I got into real estate. I had purchased a 3-unit with a basement, and I lived in one of those units. So I want to say to the young lady who house hacked, do not be nervous. I was nervous. Everyone that I was around, no one had owned anything. And they told me not to get the property, because at the time the crash happened and everything that everyone's seeing on the news at that time was homes foreclosing and buildings being boarded up. I literally walked out of the meeting and had to call a cousin that I knew that did own property. And he literally yelled to me on the phone. He said, that is a super deal. If you don't go back in there and sign those documents. And I'm saying all of this because environment is key. I almost missed out. He said, if you don't go in and sign those documents, give me the address and I'll go buy it. I went and purchased that property, and it was the best decision I ever made. And I say that to say, because environment is key. Keep showing up for yourself, and you're going to see assets and other things grow in your life. And most importantly, your wealth. So from there, I transitioned. I was a landlord for many, many years, transitioned into the short-term rental space, officially started that business in 2014. It was AK Suites. Scaled it all the way up to 14 units. And at this moment, I also had 4 units. So I had like a total of 18 units up under my profile, under my portfolio at that time. I was rolling, okay? I knew how to make money. I did not know how to invest it. I did not know how to keep it. I did not know how to grow it. And I'm going to tell you something. For many, many years, I thought the reason I lost that business was because I hit a 4-month drought, right? Right before the pandemic in 2019. Now, I want you to understand, I'm making 200 plus consistently a year in that business, pure cash, from 2014 all the way up to 2019, right? Like in the wintertime, I want to say October-ish, September, October, I hit like a 4-month drought. I remember it specifically because it was month after month after month, and I was doing a lease arbitrage. So I was responsible for all of those rents. So in my mind, I'm like, I will recover in spring. My business never suffered before. Spring and summer, ooh, big numbers, you know, all the festivals and stuff are coming, right? Spring never hit, COVID did. My units were in California and in Illinois. I was shut down cold. I was dead. I had no money. I had liquidated $100 and something thousand. One account, and I had several bank accounts at the time, and I also had an 815 credit score. One account had 120K. That's why I always say 120 something. The other accounts had like 4 or 5. So it had to be at least 130 something thousand that I literally liquidated trying to save a failing business. Okay. I want to get into what I now know as a money blueprint. I'm not the expert on it, but I kind of am just sharing my journey with you. I'm a little bit of an expert of it because I'm going in that direction. But what I'm going to say, I'm currently reading this book. It's called The Millionaire Mindset, right? And he speaks about your money blueprint. Oh my God, that book has awakened me. Like I told you, I thought the reason my business failed was due to the drought and then being hit with the pandemic. No, we all have a money blueprint, right? And I'm just gonna go over a few notes. All comes from the book, right? He talks about your actual way, and he created a formula for money manifestation, right? So it's P, which is your programming. How are you programmed as a child? That's really where I was able to trace back the reason I lost my business and it failed. What was your programming? So your programming is it controls your thoughts. So you get your thoughts from your programming, how you were raised. Then you receive your thoughts. Then your thoughts go over into your feelings, and the way that you feel determines the way that you act. And the actions that you take equals your results. I'm going to say that again. So your programming controls your thoughts. Your thoughts then control the way that you feel. The way that you feel would determine your actions. Determine on the actions that you take will equal your results when it comes to your money. And I just want to touch base, and then we're going to move on what he called a money blueprint, right? There are 3 primary conditions and things that determines your money blueprint. 3 ways that we are conditioned from childhood. And I want you guys to go back and think about it, because I had so many aha moments. I'm telling you, when I went back and actually did the exercise in the book, I was like, oh my God, I failed because I didn't understand how to control the money to begin with. I had a certain thermostat when it came to money. I'm going to touch base on this because in corporate America, I was used to making 100K a year. So me being an entrepreneur and I started making 200 to 300K a year, I'm winning. I never aspired to do anything above that amount because I already thought I was successful at the 100K. Now I'm making 200K. Oh my God, I'm rich. It doesn't get any better than that. So what tends to happen where your money thermostat is financially, you tend to go back to that. Anytime I would get above the 200K, I would spend frivolously. I would go on trips. I would buy things. I would waste monies. You cannot exceed where your personal development is when it comes to money. showing up for groups like this, read the book. I'm telling you, do not cheat yourself on that. Read any books that Christina is advising you to. That's how you grow. That's how you change. That's how you develop. That's how you win. Okay. So he says that the 3 primary conditionings that happen is verbal. We all heard it. What were you hearing when you were growing up? Money doesn't grow on trees. Money is the root of all evil. They had to do something illegal to get that money. Rich people are evil, right? Not true. Rich people are some of the most giving people in the world. I don't need to explain that to y'all, because part of my why and why I go so hard is so that I can be more philanthropic. That's actually the reason why I go so hard, because it feels good to live a life of contribution. The second, number 2 conditioning is the modeling. What did you see when you were growing up? How was your parents? How was your grandparents? How was your guardians, right? With money. Were they good with managing, or were one or both of them good at managing the money or mismanaging it? In full transparency, I'm not going to get too deep into my personal story, but I literally was poor because my mom used to be addicted to crack cocaine, right? Up until the age of 11. So I literally used to starve, right? Starve at night. I used to literally go to sleep, have sleep for dinner. It was so crazy for me that I would find myself, I don't know if you guys have ever been this hungry before, but I know I have. I used to literally keep looking in the refrigerator as though food would magically appear. I'll go sit down and keep going back to the refrigerator. It was like a psychosis type thing. It was mad crazy, right? All of a sudden, my mom ended up marrying her drug dealer. Oh my God, we're rich. We move into this house. My stepdad had like this Rolls Royce. He was the only one I had ever seen in my life with a Rolls Royce until I was like in my 30s, like many, many years later. I didn't even know what that car was. You understand? And I went from poor to rich. But just like this book is speaking of, your deep conditioning, it goes beyond rationale. I still was operating from a fear of losing it all, or a fear of going back to starving, right? So I need you to understand that. So my parents, what I seen with monies, once we were in the environment of ghetto fabulous and money was flowing, no one had any investments. Literally, my stepfather was a millionaire, like literally, him and my mother, like cash, okay, literally, no joke. And they didn't own anything. They didn't buy any assets. It was diamonds, clothes, furs, waste of money, trips. You go in and you just get what you want. So what happened? Quite naturally, when I started to date men, that's how I was. I was irresponsible when it came to money. They had to fund this lifestyle for me. And that was my way of being until I ended up breaking up with my son's father, and I was broke, right? That was the first realization that I had to redirect. But I want you to be mindful of, what did you see when you were growing up? It is still affecting you today. If you don't think so, just go back into your childhood and write down a note about it. I'm telling you, once you become aware of it, you can then change it. The third thing he spoke about was like specific incidents. Like, did your parents argue about money, or was money like a good time? Like when income tax season came around, oh, let's get a new car, let's go shopping, and some of those habits are ingrained in us. So what I come to find out from a book, my business did not fail because I hit a drought and then hit COVID. My business failed is because I was used to getting a lot of cash flow in. Do y'all now see? Do you see the correlation between the way my lifestyle was and the way that I grew up? I created a business that gave me a lot of cash flow that made me comfortable with spending as much of it as I want, and didn't have a need to worry about investing it. I hope y'all caught that, because that was really huge for me. That was really huge for me. I mean, that was the biggest revelation I think I've had over the past 5 years when it comes to my business and understanding why I ended up in the space that I did. So today, I just want to move along and I want to get into some business credit and business funding for you, right? I want to go over business credit. I want to go over what does a good credit report look like. And I'm going to give you a few gems on how to protect yourself there when you're going through the dispute process. Then we're going to go over into the business credit. How do you make yourself credible? And then I'm going to drop a few benefits and a few gems depending on how I feel. And if you ask good questions, you can squeeze whatever you got out of me. I'm telling you, y'all better think about what you think you need to know when it comes to business credit while you have me here, okay? Cool. So I wanna know anyone, I like to get energy from the crowd, just a little bit. So if you are currently working on your business credit, first, I want to know if you have an LLC formed, please drop like a 0 in the chat. Okay, Kayla. If you're working on forming your LLC, put a 1 in the chat. Okay, good. Good, I see you, Diana. All right, Melanie. Okay, awesome. Okay, so a good thing is, and we have a young lady in the group that does credit repair. You need to get with her because a good thing is you can leverage your good credit in order to establish and build business credit at a much accelerated rate, right? A lot of times they tell you you need to have like 2 years of business credit established. Yes, if you're gonna do it strictly off your EIN, that's a slower process. But I would recommend that you clean up your personal credit, but build your business credit simultaneously. You don't need to wait on one to do the other, right? So here's what a perfect credit report looks like. The first thing you want to do is work on your personal profile, right? So your personal profile is your phone number, your name, your address, and all the personal information that is detailed on your credit profile. So if you're anything like how I was, I just want to mention the fact that when I had my 14 short-term rentals, I had personally guaranteed everything, which was mistake number 1. And all of those addresses, unit numbers, various phone numbers and companies, they were all on my business credit profile, bringing my score right down, making me look unstable and making me look mad crazy with the inquiries and all that stuff, because I just didn't know any better, right? So what you want to make sure that you have, let me say this, when you have a business credit profile, anytime you open up a business credit for any reason, personal credit application, you'll have various names, spellings of your names, different addresses from the time you were 18 all the way up, various phone numbers, various companies that you worked for. You want to clean all of that up. That's actually going to boost your score a little bit. You want one name, one company that you worked for, one address, one phone number. Delete all the rest. And I want you specifically to delete any and all addresses that are attached to any collections accounts on your personal credit report. Why? Because there is like a profile registration number that is attached to each address that is on your credit report, and it's attached to any debtor that is on your credit profile. So when you go through the dispute process, they use this information to verify and validate the account. So if you want to get ahead of it, clean up your personal credit profile, one name, one phone number, one address, one company, right? Now, let me say this. Your credit score does not matter. When it comes to obtaining credit, this is why so many people are confused, and I get it. When it comes to building and establishing good credit or going for funding in any kind of ways, you would think like, oh, I have a 700 or 800 credit score, I'm good. No, let me give you an example. I was bankrupt after I lost everything, and this is how I got to this space, right? I ended up going bankrupt in 2019. I was so broke. that it's crazy. I went from being a landlord, evicting people, to hiding from the processor who was there to serve me. And one thing that I knew was if he couldn't serve me, he couldn't, send me to court. They couldn't mandate me to court because I never was officially served. So I was ducking and hiding from the servitor. Crazy, crazy feeling. Trust me, you never, ever want to be a person that was getting up to $300K a year to that position. I'm telling you, that's why I'm here today. Because one thing I didn't know is there was a gap in my learning. Something was missing. So my first check went to mentorship. And I got into a financial literacy group. I don't know if you know him, 500. That's the camp I come from. Okay. So I'm saying all of this, and then we're going to just get right into it. So you want to make sure that your personal profile is intact. And then you want to make sure that your data points, that's what we go off of, data points. We do not care. The bank does not care about your credit score. So the data points you want to look out for. Number one, you want to make sure everything is paid on time. Everything. They track it for years. They go back 5-7 years, and they're still punishing you for one late payment when you go for funding. It's crazy, but it's true. Pay everything on time. One late payment can drop your score and impact you 50 points. One late payment, I've seen it. Pay everything on time. You want to make sure you have 0 derogatories on your account. You don't have any bankruptcies. You don't have any, late payments. You don't want any charge-offs or anything that's impacting your credit profile negatively. You want to make sure that your utilization is below 10%. They say 30%, but if you wanted to have a positive effect, I would say below 10%. So, meaning, what is the amount of credit that utilization just means? What is the amount of credit that I have available versus the amount that I'm using? So if you have $1,000 credit card, do not use any more than $90. I know that's crazy. Every time I say that, I'm still in shock, because when you really think about it, why would you extend me $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, but then you're going to punish me when I use it? That's the number one reason a lot of people have negative things going on, and they're being denied for credit, for utilization. It's crazy, but it's true. Keep it below 10%. Number 3, you want to make sure you have a mix of credit, right? So you want secured loans. You can get a secured loan from whomever you bank with. That is huge, guys. That will make your credit profile look great, okay? Take a note of that. I'm telling you, that will open a lot of doors for you, okay? You want to get installment loans like car notes, mortgage payments, and things like that. Same amount due every month over a period of time. You also want like revolving credit, like credit cards and lines of credit. So you want to mix it all up, because creditors want to make sure that you're able to handle various types of debt. Now, you have your credit profile all set up, right? Now, if you're looking to go into the dispute process, the first step you want to do is, first, let me go here. We're all used to the big creditors, right? Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, right? And what I want to ask you though, are you guys familiar with the secondary credit reporting agencies? I want to know. I just want to read the room. If you are, put a 0 in the chat. No? 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 Awesome. Thank you for responding. Okay. So what you may not know is that not only do you have the big 3, you actually have a ton of other credit reporting agencies. First off, they are not credit bureaus. Using the name credit bureau sends something in your brain to trigger it as though they're connected to the government, right? So you think what they're doing to you is legal, because the word bureau means oh my God, they're connected, they're well within their right to do this, I'm late. Newsflash, no. However, you do have a government agency that does regulate them. It's called the CFPB. Okay, CFPB. Write that down. Do not forget that. Okay, so they are regulated by the CFPB. So it's like the police for the credit reporting agencies. Just so you know, me and Christina can go open up a credit reporting agency right now. These are just businesses. They're LLCs and corporations. That's why TransUnion is TransUnion LLC. These are just regular people and companies that has formed together. And what they do is they partner with what I'm about to explain to you, secondary agencies. Get a pen, right? Because what you may or may not know is there's something called the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Look it up, FCRA. There's various laws and it's very complicated because it's the American way. And anyone that's into credit repair, they already know. So this is how we're getting the things taken off your credit, your personal credit profile, right? Look that law up, become familiar with it, understand that you have rights. Because the number one law is you never gave them the permissible right to advertise your information on a credit report. Therefore, everything that is reported there can be removed. Everything that's reported there can be removed. Why? Because it was placed on there illegally without your permissible rights, and you have rights to privacy. Don't you ever forget that. And you could use the CFPB to help you with the disputing process. Now, getting back to the secondary agencies, right? You have secondary agencies, which are data collection companies. They go out and they illegally collect your data. They then collect your data and they sell it to the big three. That whole transaction is illegal. For instance, I had a bankruptcy. So a bankruptcy is housed with a company, a secondary agency called LCI and LexisNexis. So they go out and they go collect all the public records of people who have filed bankruptcy, and then they sell it to Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, right? This is how they do. Another secondary agency is ARS. You have Innovis. You also have another system called checks systems. They house any bounced checks or any delinquencies you may have with a bank. You can also dispute this as well, okay? Here's a tip for you, and I need you to do it today, whether you have good or bad credit. All them companies I just named, I want you to go online. I want you to freeze and or opt out of these secondary agencies, right? Because I'm pretty sure everyone here can use a bit of credit repair, right? Doesn't matter what it is, okay? That would be the first step in the disputing process, because number one, you cleaned up your personal profile, you removed any addresses and phone numbers and emails that or businesses that had anything to do with any accounts that you had attached. Number two, you're gonna go and freeze and opt out any of these secondary agencies. Then you go through the dispute process, right? That is key, all right? That is key. They had so much stuff on me. When you look at your public record, they had stuff on me, and I'm gonna just keep it a buck. I used to be a little thug. They had information on me being in juvenile detention at the age of 13 on my LexisNexis report. I'm like, oh no, this has to go. So they collect everything about you guys. I'm telling you, you got pulled over for a ticket, DUIs, anything that can be damaging to you. And you don't want that information lingering out about you. Get rid of it. Delete it and get rid of it. Cool. So before I move on to the business credit, do we have any questions in regards to the personal credit profile?
I have a question.
Mhm.
So what happens when you freeze the LexisNexis?
So when you freeze it, you're really not giving them the right to verify it. Oh, that's a very good question because I did not clarify that. So freezing and opting out of these, when I went to go dispute my bankruptcy, I'm blocking them from verifying it. So the number one job of the secondary agencies, when you ever see on your credit report the debt furnisher, they're talking about the secondary agencies. So me freezing and opting out of it, then I say, hey, this bankruptcy isn't mine. They went to LexisNexis and LexisNexis cannot verify it. So if they cannot verify it within 30 days, therefore it has to be removed. It's not as simple as that because credit reporting agencies are sneaky, but that's pretty much the gist of it. So what you're doing, you're setting yourself up to win when it comes to disputing things on your credit report.
Thank you so much.
I think I saw another question come in.
Kia had one in the chat. It says how to remove old address and phone numbers from your credit.
So you can do this over the phone. I would definitely just give them a call, dispute it all, and then wait on a report. And here's a little trick, because they like to tell you, oh, well, that's attached to a T-Mobile cell phone bill. Just be like, hey, T-Mobile and all my creditors, they've been put on notice. I have a new address. The only thing I'm requesting to be on here is 123 Main Street. And if you're anything like me, I put an entirely new address on there because all my stuff was attached to some form of debt. So I was like, hey, remove it all. And I put my mom's address up there. Just a thought, okay? Yeah. You want to get rid of any address that's going to link you to any account that is delinquent or in collections or that you intend on disputing.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Do you have any other questions?
Well, I did have one more question. Well, if you can restate those secondary boroughs again, I have the check system because I did block them some years ago. And I just ran across them and nobody told me to, but I went on there and I seen my name and I was like, well, I don't know what this is, but I'm blocking it. But the LexisNexis, and then there's something else that you mentioned. I've never heard of those. Could you mention that again so I can just write it down?
Yes, ma'am. So you have LCI.
Okay.
Y'all know this is a new company and it's owned by TransUnion.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Wow.
Right. So LCI is a new one. So TransUnion used to also go through LexisNexis, and up until February of 2019, they now go through their own company.
Oh, wow.
L as in Larry, C cat, I igloo, LCI.
How convenient is that for TransUnion?
Wow.
Girl, they are sneaky. They are sneaky. So you have LCI, you have LexisNexis, you have A Apple, R Red, S Sam. So ARS. You have Innovis, INNOVIS. And I think I said ARS. And then you have check systems. Those are the big ones. Even though you have hundreds, those are the ones that they predominantly go with. Yeah, what did you say, Amber? You just got off the phone with TransUnion? Yeah, you're more than welcome, Ashley.
They're getting more than sneaky. That's funny. Oh, I have another question for those secondary ones. Back in the days, I used to hear of SageStream. Did they close down or are they still one?
SageStream is still there. I knew I was forgetting one. Absolutely. SageStream is another one. Thank you, Christina. Yes, you want to get SageStream, Innovis, ARS, LCI, LexisNexis, check systems. Get all of those blocked and or frozen. Because another thing, I had to block that stuff to avoid all the evictions. I had evictions when I got kicked out of my apartment. So when the pandemic ended, they weren't able to place those evictions on my report. Another thing, people who have gone to jail for nonviolent crimes. Do you know they can't even get a place to stay? Because they use these reports to look you up. Crazy. So get your life back and just have them frozen and opt out of them. So you never know what you might do. You know what I'm saying? You just don't want this report on you. Yeah, so before I move on, do we have any more questions?
I'm sorry. Who do we call the big three to adjust our address and phone number and whatnot?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Sorry. Who do we call specifically to like get down to just one address and one phone number, one name, everything?
Oh, so you're going to reach out to TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. You're going to call them one at a time. And I'm going to tell you, it can be frustrating. Call them the very next day just to verify it has been updated and removed. Yes, and I'll go ahead and give you a gem too. So to get rid of inquiries, the very same thing. So you want to, like, if you apply for some credit today, call them the next day. Hey, I noticed some unusual activity, that I didn't unauthorized activity on my account. No, I don't know. I don't know who 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 XYZ is. Nope, it's not mine. Fraud. Yep, it is. Please remove it. So you want to remove before it even hits. and that's real talk. So you can get rid of as many. Some people have issues with this. I think it's in your delivery. I've never had an issue with it. You have to speak confidently. Hey, this is unusual activity. Please remove the inquiry now. Yes, cool. You have some very good questions. I hope you're getting something out of this. So I'm gonna move on to business credit. This is my favorite, okay? Business credit is king, okay? Credit is king. Credit is king. That was another thing I found out about my money blueprint. I was used to fronting things with cash. Why? I had drug dealer parents. That's why. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm just keeping it real. So I just need you guys to take the time to think. If you're not where you want to be financially, you have to identify what's holding you back. I was used to cash flow, so it wasn't any surprise that I created a business that gave me cash flow, because that was the type of life I was used to. Real talk. I mean, that was the biggest revelation I've had in a very long time. So business credit is king. First off, before you even attempt to apply for business credit, you want to make sure that you are credible, okay? I'm going to go over a few things that will get you up to that point. It starts with your name. What type of name are you choosing? You want to make sure it's not on a do not fund or risky list. Some of the things that are infamous for this: credit repair companies, real estate agents, anything to do with real estate, trucking, right? These are all risky or do not fund industries. And there's plenty of more, right? Hit me if you need me to send you a list. I have no problem doing so. You also want to make sure that you name your business something that is easy to remember and easy to spell and easy to digest. You don't want it to be anything that's complicated. Another thing you want to do, since I'm on the subject, is I would say try, but I'm not going to say try, because I'm helping my mom out right now. You want to make sure that the name that you choose, that the domain name is going to be available for that exact same spelling, right? Don't run out and get a name and you register with the Secretary of State. Let's say cars. My company is Sync Ventures, Inc., right? Don't go get Sync Ventures and then name it Sync Ventures, and then you go get the domain name and Sync Ventures isn't available as a domain name. So now what do? Now you have a mismatch name with a mismatch email address and website. it just doesn't look professional, right? So go to namecheck, NAMECHK.com to see if that name is even available on social media platforms, as well as if the domain name itself is available. Then go ahead and choose it with the Secretary of State. Next, you want to go ahead and get your address. Please, it's a virtual address. When you Google virtual address, the cheapest people come up in the top. iPostal is very infamous. You do not want an iPostal business address. You do not want a UPS store or a PO box of any sort. You want to make sure that you get a corporate address. So typically you will go with a company that offer corporate rentals and co-working spaces, but they also offer virtual assistance services like WeWorks, Opus, Spaces. Next, you want to go ahead and get your entity. So your entity can be an LLC, an S Corp, a partnership, or a C Corp. Reach out to a tax professional to make sure that you're getting the correct formation of the business that is right for the business and the company that you have. From there, you want to go ahead and get your domain name, your email address, and then you want to go get your phone number. Get a professional phone number, guys. There's plenty of them out there, voice over IP, ringcentralphone.com, you have it. Once you get that phone number, the key is to register it with the 411 national database. So register it 411.info. Also register it with Google Business. Doing so, you're now credible, right? This is all before you even go get your banking account. Now that you're credible, I can look up Sync Ventures Inc. and all of this stuff pops up. I see a professional corporate building that company is housed in. I see a professional website. And then when you provide your email address, it's info@syncventuresinc.com, right? Once you're done with that and you're nice and credible, go ahead and get your banking account, right? Guys, there's 3 different types of banks out there, right? Get multiple bank accounts. Also, I'm also going to advise you to get more than one entity. Get more than one LLC. Why just build business credit and funding on one when you can do 2 or more? I'm building 3 currently, about to do 4. Because guess what? That business that failed, AK Suites, is still up for grabs until June. So I'm gonna go ahead and purchase that bad boy. Actually, when I get off the phone with you guys, I just got off the phone with the Secretary of State in Illinois. They was like, yeah, it's available. Pay us $700. Now I have a 7-year-old business that says something. The person that goes into a bank for business funding with a 1-year or 2-year business, they may qualify for $50,000 line of credit. Person with a 7-year-old business may qualify for $250,000. That's how big of a difference it is if you follow my drift. So get various bank accounts, get more than one entity, build them simultaneously, get help, right? Don't try to do this on your own if you're confused, because there's a huge dollar amount attached at the end. Seek counsel and guidance, okay? So that you do this in the correct fashion. Once you get your banking account, so your banking account, there's 3 different types of banking accounts. You have your regional banks like PNC and Regis. You have your national banks like Chase, Bank of America. And then you have your credit unions, which I really love, your tier 1 banks like your Navy Federals and your Alley credit unions. Those are so great when it comes to businesses, guys. Do not slip. So get one of each. So when you're going out for funding, you can go to Bank of America and Navy Federal at the same time. Boom, you're getting business credit from both. And the key is to take them out on a date. Start dating them and getting some of their products and services. I'm gonna give y'all a play.
Dilling, dalling around, don't they?
Let me get y'all the. When you, I think someone's unmuted. So make sure when you start a business, open up a banking account with an institution, fund it generously. When you fund it and you let the money sit where they see a lot of deposits coming in, you get what is known as an internal bank rating. Do that before you apply for products and services that they offer. Don't forget that. That is huge, okay? And I'm gonna just go over a few benefits that I like when it comes to business credit, and then we're just gonna wrap up. Some of the things when you get business credit is that they offer 0% credit cards, APR for up to 18 months. Here's some of the banks that offer at least 12 months, right? You got BB&T, you got Bank of America, you got PNC, you have the Chase Inc. business credit card. What you may not know is once that 12-month mark is closed, you can also request an extension. It can go even further. You can get another 12 months. So there you are, free monies. You can do a lot with free monies. Another thing I like about business credit, unlike personal credit, the utilization isn't a factor. So if you're granted and awarded $100K, $200K, $300,000 in business credit cards, you can max those things out and it not harm you or impact you. But the best thing about it is not reporting on your personal credit. So you can literally hide debt. Another thing, business credit cards, you tend to be approved 3 to 5 times higher the credit limit than what you would on your personal side. So if your highest credit card limit is $5,000 on your personal, when you go to apply for business credit, you're looking at anywhere for approvals, anywhere from $15,000 to $50,000, right? Huge, huge. That's all the money and funding that you need immediately to run your business, right? Another thing I like about business credit is the late payments fall off after 6 months. Huge, so huge. And then the more that you use, the more that they give you, because they're not penalizing you, because they're like, hey, hey, Ashley needs this money. This is just the cost of doing business. You know what I mean? And let's give her more. She's doing great. And you can sit on that money. You can go buy it. People are swiping. People are liquidating cards for investments. Imagine what you could do with a 0% credit card and you got 12 months. You can dump that thing in one of these accounts. I literally just did one with my Navy Federal card the other day, just testing it out, right? It's a crypto account. It's going to yield me 3% daily, and it's going. And I use the credit card with that. That's huge. This is how you level up. So my life of living cash and letting it rain with cash, those days are over, okay? Use other people's money and get investments to level up. Yes, I'm gonna say it again. Use other people's money to level up. You want everything in your business name, guys, nothing in your personal name. Why? Because business credit allows you protection, an extra layer of protection. Now, what could have happened to me had I had everything in my business credit name and I kept my $100,000 plus liquid cash, I could have just filed bankruptcy on the business side and everything would have been protected. And I could have took my $100K and started all over again with a new LLC, going for funding on a new LLC. And I want to let this be known. Business credit and funding, you get up to $250,000 on the first round. The first round. I've never seen anyone get anything less than 2. That's the first round. And then you let it season a little bit, and then we go back in 6 months. Then we let it season a little bit, then we go back in 6 months. And then you let it season a little bit, and then you go back again, okay? That's how this game is played. You can literally, and if you have 2, what are we looking at? I've literally seen people get 600, 800 in a year's time. And that's no cap, okay? I'm seeing it every day. The camp that I'm a part of, people posting up every day with Lambo trucks, all credit 23-year-olds out here flexing real hard, okay? I just wanted to let that be known. Business credit isn't to be used for a rainy day or when you think you need credit and you've used all your personal cash. No, use credit because credit is king. That's a wrap for me, guys. Do you have any questions? I'm telling you, ask your question right now.
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, so I know I know a little bit about the business credit in terms of, you know, tier one and stuff. So, but whatever you're saying now, because I know I heard that you have to build your tier one account, your net 30s and stuff like that. Because I didn't hear, I don't think you mentioned anything about that. So do you have to do those net 30s before you go to those banks to try to get those other cards?
Nope. No. That's why we're gonna leverage your personal credit to get you funding. Yes, you could get 1 or 2 net 30 accounts to kick it off, but once you have good credit and your profile and those data points are hitting really hard and you're making the right relationships with the right banks, which I have. So I already did the homework. So that's what my company does. So we're gonna fix your credit up, make sure that your data points are on point. And then with all these banks that we've made relationships with, we know who's giving what to who, and we know what's needed in order for you to be qualifiable for those loans and credit cards. And that's how it works. So yes, you can get 1 or 2 just to establish the profile and get your nav.com account. I didn't even talk about that. Sorry about that. And your DMB, right? So the easiest way to do it is to get your nav.com. That way you're establishing and creating your business credit profiles on Experian, Equifax, and DMB.
Got you. You said nav. Okay, I've heard about that. Now, so for example, so I have a business credit card, but I PG'd it with my social. I got it through a credit union. Would that be an example of what you're talking about?
An example?
Yeah, like since it's a business credit card, I didn't use my EIN number. I used I personal guaranteed it.
So is it reporting on your personal credit?
Haven't seen it yet.
Okay. No.
So I have a business account with them, and then I opened up a business credit card, but they used me as a personal guarantee.
Exactly. That's what you do not want. So you want to establish that you want to make yourself credible with some of the things that I laid out and make sure that your business credit profile is established, right?
Okay.
Yes. So you want to make sure that business credit profile is established, because they'll just go ahead and give you a business credit card with someone. And some people don't even report the card at all. Like Bank of America, like they don't even report the business credit card at all. And the point is for it to be reported. Now, if you want that 0% from BOA, yes. But that's also a PG card. So if things go wrong, they're gonna put it on your personal credit report. But make friends with the credit repair girl here, and she'll take care of that for you. No, I'm just kidding. So there's no fear, right? But you wanna be responsible. Who do you have the credit card with?
Mountain America Federal Credit Union.
I'm sorry, what's the name of it?
Mountain America Federal Credit Union.
Okay, it's a credit union. Yes. If you have your nav.com account, make sure that it is actually reporting against your business credit. Okay?
I don't have a nav.com account, so I guess I have to go create that.
Yeah, so with nav.com, it will give you access to your business credit reports, including your DMB. So any business credit that you open, you want to make sure that it's actually being reported.
Okay.
Yes, that was a great question. Do we have any other questions?
Yes. Yeah, I had a question. So I pretty much have everything that you said, like as far as like businesses being credible. I have about 3 LLCs. I also have the NAV and Dun and Bradstreet, like all of that stuff. But I'm trying to figure out how not to do the personal guarantee. My DTI is really high. I did loans and personal credit card and everything, trying to fund everything. But now I'm trying to figure out how to get everything business-wise. I've had Bank of America on the 15th. It'll be 3 months for my business credit card with that one. That's probably been the most consistent money I've had coming in, in and out or whatever. And then I have 2 credit unions. I have Navy Federal, which is with all of my loans and everything is with, my credit card is with. And then I have a business account with them as well, but I haven't really used it as much. And I also have another credit union that I do have smaller transactions going with through my business banking account. So with all of I have probably at least 5 banks, probably 3 or 4 for business. I'm looking to get my 4th or 5th one now for my newest LLC, but I was trying to figure out which one to go with as far as getting, what will be my better option was getting funding quicker. And I want to know how to get it with pretty much all of the ones that I have.
Okay, we got to get that utilization down. You got to transfer that debt some kind of ways onto a business credit card. You have to get rid of that utilization. Utilization takes up 35% of your actual credit profile. That's crazy. So the fastest ways to be denied: inquiries, utilization, and late fees and late payments. That's it. If they see 1 or 3 of those things not how I explained it and how it should look, it's an automatic denial. So you have to get that utilization down. I don't know if the new bank that you go with, if you can somehow get approved. I don't know, because I'm just speaking. Either try to pay that utilization down or get a loan or a credit card or something where you could transfer that debt onto a business credit card. That would be the play. That's how you would hide the debt.
That's what I was trying to figure out, how to move it to business. I just haven't figured that part out yet. How to move everything from my personal to business. I have more than enough accounts that they can move to. I just haven't figured out how to move them all over.
I would say go with a bank like PNC, try them out, see some of the products that they have to offer, see if you can get a business credit card, but you have to establish a relationship on the personal side first, right? Whatever you do, you have to come up with a way to get rid of that debt. It's only 1 or 2 ways. It's either you're going to pay it down or you're going to get a loan to cover it. If you get a loan or a credit card to cover it, you would want to do that on the business side.
Okay, I actually went into PNC today. So they told me that I didn't need a personal, but you're saying to go ahead and get a personal with them and a business?
I'm sorry, say that again.
I said PNC, when I went in today, they told me that I didn't need a personal with them to establish a business relationship. But you're saying to go ahead and get a personal and a business account?
I would do the personal to see what sort of personal funding they have available. Because right now you're not ready on the business side because your personal credit isn't in order. So you need to either get funding on the personal side and or the business side. See, the key would be make a relationship and go for all those products all at once, which will equal in one inquiry. Whatever that bank is offering, personal credit, personal line of credit, personal credit card, business credit, business line of credit, car loan, whatever, apply for all the products all at once so it can result in one inquiry for you, and you're just trying to see what sticks. But you're gonna need to get rid of that debt. You're gonna have to bring it down. So it's either you're increasing the amount of credit you have on your personal side, or you're getting a business credit card and or a line of credit on your business side and transferring that debt over there.
Okay, thank you. You know what bank will be good for TransUnion? My TransUnion is super high. It's like the highest I have.
Oh, that's good for TransUnion. You already have it, Navy Federal. How are you looking? Is that the credit cards you're
That's everything.
Yeah, the rest
literally everything.
They are like
Right.
the only ones that kind of use TransUnion. The rest of them mostly use Experian and Equifax. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking of some banks, Ally Bank, Ali Bank. Yeah, TransUnion is Navy Federal. So what do you have? A personal credit card with Navy Federal?
Yes.
So your
And,
TransUnion is looking good.
My TransUnion is like a 772.
And you don't have utilization issues on the TransUnion side?
Not at all. Just inquiry. Like I said, I was on the phone with earlier, and they were saying they won't give me any information. So it still looks good. It's just they're giving me a hard time with getting these 3 or 4 inquiries off.
Who's giving you a hard time when you try to call?
TransUnion. Yeah, I've been on the phone with them. I was on the phone with them for about 30 minutes today.
You're gonna have to do an FTC. Do an FTC and then file a report with the CFPB to get rid of them. That's how you can get rid of them. It's fraud. It's not you. Get rid of that. Another thing you can do, you can get you can actually get a trade line placed on your account to kind of reduce that utilization.
Yeah, so TransUnion has a couple of them on there. Yeah, that's still so with trade lines on there. They're older trade lines, but I did think about getting another one to kind of offset it a bit. But you said it was FTC to what?
So you want to file an FTC report at ftc.com, and you want to place your inquiries on there. And then you're gonna then give then you're gonna file a complaint with the CFPB to get rid of those inquiries. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I have all the information. I know. I was just thinking I have all that information. I just didn't know what it was for. I had it written down somewhere, but it was for how to use it. So okay, cool.
So that's one play. And then you can get the trade lines, if you can afford it, on the other 2 credit reports to shrink that utilization impact, right? And get those inquiries off. Then go in for funding while you have the trade lines on there, and then get rid of that debt. But make sure that the business itself is established and credible in the way that I explained before you go for business credit cards or funding.
Right. Yeah, everything else is good. I'm still waiting on Experience to get the address changed over, but the address is good with the Secretary of State, with nav.com and everything.
Another thing, since you're mentioning that, because I'm going through it right now, you want to make sure that your address, whatever the address and how the naming convention looks on your EIN letter itself from the IRS, you want that very same address on the Secretary of State and on your banking accounts. Meaning, like, I'm in Atlanta. Atlanta likes to spell things out. Like, my office is Peachtree Street. So they spell out the entire word, STREET. But on my EIN, they abbreviate. So you gotta make sure that whatever address that, it has to match exactly. The reason you wanna do that is because this is run through an automated system. You wanna just get the approval. You don't want a human looking at your profile, because we don't know what type of day she's having, right? So call the IRS if need be to update that address, okay? Make sure that your address matches exactly every word, spaces, commas, periods, dots, whatever. It's the very exact same on the EIN, as well as the banking, as well as the Secretary of State. But yeah, trade lines can definitely help you out there. and getting rid of those inquiries. And if you can't do it yourself by running that FTC play, connect with the young lady who does credit repair and give her a little something and let her take care of that for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All of it. I appreciate it.
Yes, yes. Let's get it. Do we have any other questions? That was a very good question.
Zach has a question.
Let's go, Zach. What's your question?
How you doing? I'm sorry if you said it earlier. I did come in a little bit later, but I know business credit apparently is very hard to, I guess, fix. If you, let's say you miss a couple months of payments and it's hard to fix. So how would someone go about doing that if that, if that comes up or were to happen?
When you say you missed a couple of payments, are you saying on your personal credit side or on your business credit profile?
No, on your business credit side. If
So you missed
some
payments?
Not yet. But I do have a payment coming up, but I wanted to know if should I, stretch some funds thin to make sure I hit that payment, or can I let it pass, get the money that I need to, and then pay it off either before the next one or at the next one?
Absolutely do not allow that payment to report late. Absolutely not. You pay everything on time. Everything on time. That's the number one way you can be denied is with utilization issues. That's why the young lady before, we're trying to concoct a plan so she can get funding because she's dead with the overutilization. They're not trying to hear it. They don't care how nice of a person you are. You can have everything paid on time, but your credit cards are maxed out. So now you went from a 7 to a 6. It's hurting you. It's crazy, but it's true, right? Another thing I want to mention, since you mentioned the business credit payments, guys, whenever you set up these vendor accounts or any business credit, take note. You have something called payment experiences. So what I do net 15s, right? So the more and more payment experiences you have on your business credit profile, the better you look. So rather than paying once a month, I pay once a week. So for one account, over a 10-month period, instead of having 10 payment experiences, I will have 40. That looks really good. You look like you're doing business because you are. And don't pay anything late. You better not pay anything late.
Got it. Thank you very much.
Yes. Any other questions?
Yes. It's Kayla here. So I have already created I have 2 LLCs. The one that I'm probably going to be more intentional about using is my development company. It's Roots Development LLC. It does have my last name in it. And I already created a bank account. I already have the credit card. But everything else that I'm way out of whack. Because my address is my home address in New Orleans, as well as my phone number is my personal phone number. So is it too late to fix and correct all those things and kind of get it up to speed to the point where, and I think I answered my own questions, but I just want to kind of touch base with you on that.
Oh, that is you guys have such excellent questions. I am so happy to answer this. Okay, yes, anything can be changed and updated, okay? So you first want to make sure that you have a virtual address. How I explained, you want to make sure it's not a UPS box or anything like that. You want to Google virtual address. It doesn't have to be those big names. It just does not, because those big names are going to charge you $50 a month, right? If you find another company that offer virtual address services, but also offer real office rental spaces, that will be considered a real corporate address. So you can find one of those companies and it'll be a little cheaper, maybe $35 to $40 a month, just a little cheaper, not much. So get your virtual address first, then call the IRS, make sure that address is updated with them, and then you ask the IRS to send you a new EIN letter. You don't need to wait on that EIN letter. Tell her to read back exactly how that address looked, right? Did they abbreviate the word street? Did they spell out the word avenue? All spaces, all dots, right? And then once you get that information, you write it down, you take that very information. I just literally did this yesterday and today on 2 separate businesses. You then go to the Secretary of State's website, and you put that address that very same way. Then you go to your banking account online and you update it there.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. Amazing question. Do we have any more? These are
I
really
do
good
have a
questions.
question. How are you?
Yeah.
I'm Marie. Nice to meet you. So I have a question. I do have a business account. I have not been making a lot of transactions through them. I just opened it with Navy Federal, I want to say about 3 months ago. I've been putting all of my personal money in there and then making transactions from there. Will that qualify me to obtain business credit cards at this point, or how long before, or what do I need to do to continue to kind of build that and gain that traction?
Let me tell y'all something. For all of y'all that have Navy Federal accounts, y'all are sitting on gold, okay? So Navy Federal forces you to get the personal account, right? Go ahead and get that $25,000 personal credit card, or more. They giving those bad boys like hotcakes. Make sure.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Okay.
Look at my, with your credit profile. With your credit profile has, I mean, the guy who does my credit repair, he's 21 years old, right? Oh my God, he's on fire, right? Gave him 35. He a kid. So, okay, get your credit report together. Holla at your girl that's in the group, your sister. If you need assistance with that, make sure those data points are on point. She's just getting into this business. She can use the support. And look, girl, I'm putting you to work. And get that together. Here's another hack for Navy Federal. On the personal side, get yourself a secured loan as much as you possibly can. For me, I'm doing 100K. I'm gonna do 100K secured loan with Navy Federal. But here's the play. Ooh, y'all lucky. I wasn't intending on giving y'all this play, but I have to give it to you. It's too many of y'all with this Navy Federal. This is inside, right? I don't say this to everybody. This is what I use with my clients for paying customers, okay? But I love y'all and I love Christina, and y'all have to be incentivized to get your credit together. Navy Federal people, listen up. Get your personal credit together. Listen to this replay, do every step exactly. Get a pledge loan. Pledge secured loan from Navy Federal. This is a secured loan. Whatever you have in your savings account, that is what they would extend the loan for. You get the loan on Monday, it hits your account on Tuesday, you pay 99% of it on Tuesday. Boom, that money spawns right back into your savings account. You run the play again. But what's gonna report on your personal credit is that, hey, Kayla had a 100K loan that she's paying on time. And you stretch the little $500 out, in my case, I'm gonna stretch that $500 out that I owe for like 12, 18 months. I'm gonna pay $50 a month. You follow me? And then you run the play again. This is how you get large lines to report. And you didn't have to go out and get a line of credit or whatever. If you can come, I don't care how much money it is, you can come up with 5,000, 10,000. Navy Federal people, whatever you have right now, put it all in that personal savings account and run that play. This is an in and an out.
Okay, so let me get this straight. So if I had 10,000 in my business account, transferred to my Navy Federal Savings today, let it sit for like a day or two, call.
Not really. You can just put it in there and then call them and say, hey, I want to get the pledge loan.
And then that's based upon.
Yeah.
So they will give me the credit of $10,000, and then I go and I instantly pay off.
You pay 95% of it, the majority of it off the next day to get your money back.
Okay.
I'm talking too spicy for y'all. I'm gonna slow it down. So
listen, because this is new information, but I'm excited.
Oh, this is insider information I'm giving you. This top-notch security information I'm giving you. When you see those people rolling around in them luxury cars, this is how. In order to get a $200,000 car, you had to have had a $200,000 loan. Y'all follow me? So if I can come across 200K, I could get a secured loan with Navy Federal or any other bank. Is more out there. I'm just giving you one. And I can have that $200,000 loan report against my credit report as paying or paid on time. So when I go into the Lamborghini car lot and say, hey, let me cop that, I paid off two $200,000 loans within the past couple year or so. Now I'm balling. You taking notes, Christina? Y'all got that?
So that's against your personal credit or the business credit? Is that against the personal credit or the business credit with the Navy Federal?
That's okay. So when I say you leverage your personal credit to get business credit, same thing.
Okay.
So there's banks out there that strictly will give you business credit.
Okay, so
Bank of America is real good at giving cars in your business name. But guys, I'm talking about personal because this is where it starts. I'm gonna say it again so no one is confused. The secured pledge loan is called the pledge loan on the personal side with Navy Federal. You get as much money as you possibly can gather, your husband, your kids, whomever, tell them you running this play. You need to get as much money as you possibly can in your savings account on your personal side, your personal savings account with Navy Federal. All monies, funnel it there, right? I'm personally doing 10K every other, without 10K, I'm doing like 98.5, 98.50 every other day, because I'm about to run this play, right? It's all going to my savings account, right? And it looks good because I'm kind of like a new client on this LLC I'm building up, right? So I'm funneling the money into my savings. Once I'm ready and set to go, I call them up. Middle of the night plays are the best. Guess what? Get all the loan products. I'm gonna go for, well, actually, they're not gonna run your credit. I'm speaking too fast, but they're not gonna run your credit because it's a secured loan. That's the beauty of it. But they're gonna report it. This is a master play. Okay. This opens up so many doors for you. You have no idea. Okay. So you put as much money as you possibly can into the savings, and then you call them and you say, I want to apply for the pledge loan. You can get two, but just get one nice one. As much money you, your husband, your significant other, whomever, your sister, your brother, whoever you need to collect this money, and get as much money in there as possible. 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, whatever. I want the pledge loan. Today is Wednesday. Say I got the pledge loan today. They're going to approve you for the exact same amount that is in your savings account. Say I have $10,000. So I'm approved. It hits my account tomorrow. Wait until it hits your account. You go look into your Navy Federal. It hits on Thursday. I turn around and pay $9,800, or let's say $9,500 of that pledge loan. That means $9,500 is going to funnel right back into my personal savings account, but it's going to report next month in June as though I had a $10,000 loan and I'm paying it on time as agreed. So now I've just created a $10,000 line of credit for myself. And guess what? You can turn around and run the play again. So when June comes, you'll have 2 secured loans reporting on your account. Then they like you. Once they see $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 and you ran that type of play, your banking score goes up with them. Then you go on the business side. Hey, wait, I take that back. Get that $25,000 personal credit card with them. You apply for everything at once. You get, at this point, once you run that play and it's reported, wait a couple of days, couple of weeks or whatever. Say next month, you see a report on your personal credit. You looking good. Now, wait for it to report. Then you go back, hey, Navy Federal, I want a personal credit card. I want a business credit card, but make sure you're credible and your profile is looking good. I want a business credit card. I want a car loan. These are all no doc. No documents are needed, meaning they're not going to ask you for any tax returns or check stubs or anything like that. These are all no doc loans. Car, personal credit card, business credit card, business line of credit, car loan, whatever. You get it all. Call them in the middle of the night. They 24/7. Get everything that they offer with one inquiry. Now that's fire. I need to drop my cash out at this point. Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, you dropping some gems. But I got one more question. So Ally Bank was one of the banks that you mentioned, right? That's the online bank?
Who?
Ally Bank?
So Ally, ALLY?
Yeah. Oh, that's
good. They're good for car loans.
So not for business.
They're good for a fleet of cars. So if you're looking to get into the showroom space, Ally is a good one for that.
So not for business credit?
For everything I'm talking about is business. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah. I have them. I've been banking with them for years. So should I go open a business account with them now? So you have a personal account with them? Yeah, I've been banking with them.
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am. They like you. Go ahead and get a business checking account with them.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
so
make sure you get a lump sum of money. You have to date them before you have sex with them. Don't just go open up a business credit account and say, hey, I want $100,000. Doesn't work like that. See if they offer some of the same products, see what type of products they offer. See if you can get that line of credit, that secured situation I just told you about. And if you can't, go ahead and get it from Navy Federal, then do the business once you done beefed up your personal credit.
I mean, my personal credit, I'm just trying to build the business credit. So that's where I want to be.
But one isn't separate from the other, babes. When you say good,
I know.
When you say good, let me ask you this: when you say good, because a lot of people say that, do you have the average age of your credit that's reporting on your account? Is it at least 5 years old?
Yes. It's
okay. Do you have at least 10 positive accounts reporting positive?
Yes.
At least 10. Okay. No late payments or anything over the past 7 years.
No, none. I'm the one who do the credit repair, so.
Oh, okay.
Everything's good. I'm on point.
Okay, yes. So on your business side, you want to go through those steps I told you for the credibility, and you're good. You're good to go.
Yeah, so
you already know how to get
Ally. Since I bank with them, I'll just try with Ally or Ally, whatever they call it. Yeah.
Yes, but make sure you got a trade line on there that's gonna make you look good when you apply for the business credit. Make sure your trade line is high, because they see, here's the thing. They typically like to approve you for the past approvals you've had. They're not going to give you $100,000 and you only had, your highest loan was $5,000. See, that's what you pay people like me for. I'm gonna make you look good. That's why you're getting that 200K. You go in there and your highest credit card limit was $1,300. They're like, we can't trust you with 50,000. Like you don't have any proof that you know how to handle that. Yeah, so that's where trade lines and stuff like that come into play. So even if you have to go get a couple trade lines and then go apply for your business credit, babes, that'll be the play.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I never mixed credit with them, but I'm gonna apply for one.
Nice, good luck, and hit me up, y'all. I love to see people win. Let me know if y'all ran any of these plays. I'm Ms Cashflows, MRSCASHFLOWS. I love this. I love talking about money, and I love seeing people win. Let me know.
Is there any more questions? Thank you so much, Miss Akila. Thank you so much for coming and dropping all the gems that you just dropped, because I feel like we just went to university. Like, I don't know about anybody else, but I feel like I just got a 4-year degree here. This was amazing. You know what I'm about to do tomorrow? Because I am an action taker. So guess who I'm going to call up? I'm going to get a pledge loan tomorrow just because I don't have one. Okay.
Exactly.
Yes, thank you so much for that. So like she said, follow her on Instagram. She is Mrs. Cashflow with an R. So MRS Cash Flows with an S at the end. And then how else can they get in contact with you if they want to start getting that business funding and you helping them get to that 250K?
Yes. So hit me up, DM me 100%. And you can set up a consultation. We can go over anything, because money is a sensitive thing. I've never had this many questions ever. And I've spoken to groups of 50, 60, 70. No, everyone's new. So I so appreciate these questions. That's why you got the game. I'm telling you. Most people, am I lying, Christina?
No, they pulled it out of you, honey.
Yes. Me and Christina has spoken on some of the same platforms, and it'll be a ton of people and no one will say anything, because everyone have this pride and they want to appear that they're winning and they're not getting the juice. I'm here to help you. I want to see you win, guys. So hit me up. Let me know how the pledge.
One last question.
Yeah,
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Okay, so what if our credit card is almost to the limit with Navy Federal on our personal side? We should go ahead and pay that down like tonight, and then wait a day or so and then apply for the personal and the pledge?
You want to make sure that whatever you're doing, you need to wait for it to impact your credit report. Because you can't do anything today and it's going to update on your credit report the next day. It's not going to update your credit report that next credit report cycle. Once you see the impact and the change of that, that's when you run the plan.
Okay, and how often, when does the credit report get reported? Is it like the 1st and the 15th, or?
Different accounts report at different times. So you have a credit card report date. So say your due date is the 5th, but the actual credit report date can be the 1st. No, let me take that back. So your due date is the 1st and the actual report date or the print date can be the 5th. So make sure that, yeah, that's another thing. Thank you. See, I love when you ask questions. There's some stuff that I forgot to mention. So guys, the most important date on your credit report is the actual credit report date on your credit card statement dates, right? That is whatever standing or balance that your credit card is at on that date, that is what's reported to the credit agency. So figure out what that date is, because you can even play games. I've done it. Like, you can move monies around, right? Say you know that credit report date is the 5th and you got it maxed out. Pay it off with another credit card or with your significant other or whatever you need to do. And then let it report less than 10% utilization on the 5th, and then go ahead and run that thing up again. But make sure it's always paid down by the report date.
Okay, perfect.
And here's another trick. You know what? I cannot leave without telling you this. Say you have 4 or 5 credit cards. Go ahead and change the payment due date. I have mine for the 10th and the 20th. I actually See y'all getting real sauce today. Y'all welcome. Okay. Y'all getting sauce today. So I changed, I got like 18, 20 credit cards. I lost count, right? I got a whole billboard. I just had it out somewhere. I would have showed y'all somewhere over here. I got a whole portfolio of them, right? So I have them in 2 sections, right? I have the credit cards that are due on the 10th and the credit cards that are due on the 20th. So say I'm running up the bag on the ones that's in the report date is the 15th, right? And then the other one, the report date is the 25th. So I'm liquidating those cards or doing whatever. I'm shuffling the monies around. However you do it, you can split it up so you can make sure that the payments and the utilization is down by the report date. And you can keep up with this by making all your credit cards have the same due date. If you have a lot, because once you start dealing with me and other people and you start doing business credit, you're gonna get a bunch of credit cards. And this is how you manage it. Only have 2 credit card due dates. You can call the creditor and say, hey, can we make this due date the 10th? I hope this helps.
It really does.
This has been phenomenal, honestly.
Yes. Wait, what are the dates that you have? The 1st and the 15th?
No, I have the 10th and the 20th.
Oh, the 10th and the 20th. Okay.
Yes. And then since y'all got me on fire.
Yes, please do. Blaming.
If you want to liquidate some of these cards, one of the accounts I get my clients is a Costco, Sam's Club. Go buy gift cards with the credit cards. And then you liquidate and you pay the credit cards on the 10th. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't really done it personally, but the camp I come from, they do it all the time. I just make sure that my payments are paid on the 10th. Doesn't mean that I'm not gonna do it, but if you're having utilization issues, this is how you take care of that.
That's what I was thinking about when Amber had asked her question. I was thinking that since she has a lot of business credit cards, that maybe she can liquidate some of them to pay the high utilization. I guess pay down the utilization on the personal side. If you have you can liquidate some of those business credit cards and pay off the personal ones, right?
Yes, and then you can take your time to pay those business credit cards off because now it's not harming you. Exactly. The utilization isn't affecting the business side.
I'm trying to get the bit. I don't have no business credit cards. I have one personal. That's what I'm trying to get. I'm trying to run these plays up.
Oh, I thought you said you had a bunch of business credit cards. Oh, okay. We got to get you the credit cards.
Nah, I got a bunch of businesses. Like, I need the rest of it.
Yes, ma'am. But I hope y'all are taking notes. Do you keep this recording, Christina?
Yes, it's in the members area. So I know that some of you guys, I'm not sure if you guys got an opportunity to log in. So some of the emails are going to either spam, promotions, or the social area. So check those different inboxes and you have your login information. So the recordings are going straight to the members area. Last week's recording is there, this week's, and all of the future recordings, and when we start the book club. So the book club is starting this Friday. We're reading How Successful People Think by John C. Maxwell. I put it in the chat. We have the PDF version or the link to buy the book if you want to do the physical hard copy version and start highlighting and stuff. So the assignment is to read the first 5 pages, and then when we come back on Friday, we're going to just be bouncing ideas off of each other, sharing our bars and our gems, and talking about that book, because that's how we're going to grow as a community, just by personally developing together, okay, and masterminding together, and reading these books. Like Akila said, it's fundamental, especially because we are entrepreneurs, we're investors, and we're evolving as people. So the book club is starting this Friday, guys, and I'm excited for all of us.
Yes, and before I get out of here, may I recommend this one by T. Harv Eker.
Okay,
Oh
let me write that down because we definitely got to add that to our club. That could actually be the second book that we read.
This is going to change your life. Please inbox me and let me know what revelations you get, because the entire book is highlighted. It's crazy.
I know. That's why I like reading the hard copies, because I get to highlight. I like the ebooks and stuff when I'm on the go and, you know, on a plane somewhere, but the books there's something different about turning those pages and highlighting and going back and rereading the highlights.
Oh my God. Yes. And I hope you guys, I've added value to you. Go run the play. Go run the play. You are empowered. You even have your own personal credit repair person here. Girl, everyone should create and schedule a consultation with her. Let's get it.
Yes. So Melanie Peterkin, she does credit repair. She's also coming out with a DIY course if you want to learn how to do your own credit repair, because some people, they want to be hands-on and they want to learn so that they can know for the rest of their life if they need to, you know, take off an inquiry and stuff. So her website is www.keystosuccessfinancial.com. So you can go ahead to her website and book a call with her as well. And then Akila, she does business funding. So if you want to get that 250K, if you're ready to do, you know, all that stuff on the business side, hit her up. Akila, don't you have a number that they can text?
I do. So I have an upcoming. So here's what's going on with me. So I do have ebooks. It's the do-it-yourself credit repair, do-it-yourself business credit. So all these secrets and all these more gems that I'm talking about is all outlined in my ebooks, as well as funding secrets. You can get all three for $167. I also have an upcoming masterclass. You can text the word masterclass to 773-900-8104. Again, that's 773-900-8104. And I look forward to hearing from you guys. So even if you just want to run these plays or get even more sauce, get the ebooks or go to Ms Cashflows, schedule a consultation, because the service I offer will build, we clean your credit up for you, structure your profile, establish and build your business credit, and get you funding on the back end.
Thank you so much. Any final questions before we end the Zoom? Thank you so much for, you know, being here tonight, for coming on time, for adding value, and for asking questions. I love this because this is how we grow as a community. Any last words?
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much, Ms. Akila. You really poured into this community today. We really appreciate you. And we hope that you come back soon. Come join us. Come hang out on a Wednesday. Wednesday, talking about money and finance and business and stuff.
Don't you love it?
Yes.
Christina, this was such a blast. Thank you for asking such good questions, guys. You're going to the next level for real. I'll be back, I promise.
Yep, they're going to the moon. All right, guys, good night. You can find this in the members area. And if you need help logging in, just shoot me an email, info@7waystowealth.com, and I'll help you with your login, okay? So be blessed, and I'll see you on Friday.
All right, take care.